If you're thinking about retiring in Park City, Utah, you're not alone. We're seeing more retirees choose Park City every year, and not just for the ski season. The combination of low state income tax, world-class healthcare, year-round outdoor lifestyle, and a real community of active adults is making Park City one of the most attractive retirement destinations in the whole Mountain West. But it's not the right fit for everyone. Today, I'm going to walk you through the complete 2026 guide to retiring in Park City. The financial picture, the lifestyle, the healthcare, the best neighborhoods for retirees, and the honest downsides that nobody else is going to tell you about. Quick reality check. Park City is not a traditional retirement destination. We don't have the Florida snowbird scene. We don't have the massive 55 plus communities. We don't have the cheapest cost of living. What we do have is something different. And for the right retiree, something way better. An active outdoor year-round community where the average person you meet on a trail or at the rec center is in their 50s and 60s and 70s, is still skiing, they're still hiking, they're biking, they're playing golf every day, they're fly fishing, still genuinely engaged. If that sounds like the kind of retirement you want, then this video is for you. Let's start with the financial picture, because Utah is genuinely tax-friendly for retirees in ways that surprise many people. Utah has a flat state income tax of around 4.5%. That's lower than every neighboring state with an income tax, and it's dramatically lower than California, New York, and Illinois. Utah does tax Social Security and retirement income, but Utah offers a retirement tax credit that reduces or eliminates the tax burden for many retirees, particularly those with moderate retirement incomes. There's no estate tax. There's no inheritance tax. Park City's property tax rate is approximately 0.5% of assessed value for primary residents, and that's one of the lowest effective tax rates in the entire United States. Compare that to many parts of Texas at well over 2%, New Jersey at 2.5% or more. So on a $2 million primary residence, your annual property tax in Park City is roughly $11,000 a year. That same property in many other states would be $30,000 to $50,000 plus per year. It's insane. To qualify for the primary residence rate, you need to occupy the property for 183 or more consecutive days per year and establish Utah residency. For retirees relocating from a higher tax state, this is one of the most impactful financial moves you can make. Done correctly, the tax savings alone can pay your Park City carrying costs for many years. Sales tax in Park City is around 8.8%, including local resort taxes. Slightly higher than national average, but offset by the income and property tax savings from most retirees. One of the biggest concerns I hear from many retirees considering Park City is healthcare access. The reassuring news is significantly better than people assume for a town this size. Intermountain Park City Hospital is the main local facility, a full-service hospital with emergency department, surgical services, imaging, and a strong primary and specialty care network. It's reported, and also from my personal experience with my boys growing up in Park City, that emergency patients are typically seen by a physician within about 10 minutes upon arrival. I mean, who does that around the country? For the more complex care, the University of Utah Health System at Salt Lake City is about 35 minutes away in normal traffic. University of Utah Hospital is consistently ranked among the top academic medical centers in the United States, with specialty programs in cancer, cardiology, orthopedics, and neurology that rival any in the whole country. For most retirees, having a top-tier academic medical center within 40 minutes is more healthcare access than they had in their previous city. The Park City medical community is also robust for a town this size. We have well-established practices in cardiology, orthopedics, and sports medicine, which makes sense given the active population, and a growing roster of specialists. The Park City Medical Center has expanded substantially over the last decade. What you may need to drive to Salt Lake for is certain specialized surgeries, advanced cancer treatment, complex cardiac procedures, and some niche specialties. But for primary care, urgent care, most surgical needs, and emergencies, you're well covered in Park City. Medicare works seamlessly here as well. There are 47 Medicare Advantage plans available in Utah, with an average monthly premium of around $16, which is genuinely competitive. This is what makes Park City special, and it's hard to convey from a spreadsheet. Retirement in Park City is active. The average retiree is skiing 30 to 80 days a year, hiking and mountain biking from spring through fall, Golfing, if they're members of one of the private clubs or at one of the many options of public golf courses in and around Park City. And there's also engagement in the local Park City Senior Center, the Rec Center, or one of the dozens of volunteer organizations. The Park City Mount Resort and Deer Valley both offer senior season passes at meaningful discounts. The trail system is one of the best in North America, with over 400 miles of marked trails accessible from town. The Park City Senior Center is a genuinely active hub with classes, trips, and a strong social calendar. Cultural amenities punch above the town's weight. The Park City Institute brings world-class music, theater, speakers to the Echo Center year-round. The Egyptian Theater hosts live performances. The Kimmel Arts Center and a strong gallery scene support local and visiting artists. Community engagement is genuine. Park City has an unusually high concentration of retired professionals, former CEOs, doctors, attorneys, and academics who are deeply involved in nonprofit boards, mentoring programs, and local government. If you want to stay intellectually engaged in retirement, the talent pool here is exceptional. The restaurant scene is real. For a town of 8,000 permanent residents, Park City has a remarkably good food scene. Main Street alone has dozens of high-quality restaurants and bars, plus Kimball Junction and the resort areas add even more. Not every Park City neighborhood is a great fit, though, for retirement. Here are the ones I most often recommend for active retirees. Park Meadows, the classic central Park City neighborhood is walkable to the Rec Center, the Senior Center, and the Medical Center. The streets are flat enough to walk year-round. There's plenty of single-level options for living. Strong community feel as well. Plenty of single-level living options and a strong sense of community. Single-family prices in Park Meadows typically range from around $2.5 million and up. Condos and townhomes are available from about $1.4 million. Newpark and Kimball Junction for retirees who prioritize easy living, low maintenance, one-level lock-and-leave properties. The condos and townhome inventory around Newpark and Kimball Junction is hard to beat. Your walking distance to shopping, restaurants, and the Newpark Hotel and Spa, and grocery stores. Prices range in this area from around $700,000 to around the $2 million range, depending on the size and the finishes. If you haven't been to Silver Star is something to check out. It's a small community at the base of Park City Mountain with ski and ski out access via the Silver Chair lift, and it has a nice tight community knit feel. So Silver Star is great for retirees who want true ski access without managing a large property. It's also great trail access in the summer, and Silver Star Cafe is great, and your walking distance to Park City Municipal Golf Course. If you're looking for like a golf community, there's many. We have Promontory, Toohey, Victory Ranch, and Red Ledges, which are having more and more full-time residents. If you're thinking about a gated golf club community with lots of year-round amenities, consider Promontory or Toohey or Red Ledges, or something a little different, even like Victory Ranch. But I think the most full-time retirees that live, in these communities would be Promontory and Red Ledges. You have golf, you have ski lodges, you have fitness centers, you have dining options, you have lots of outdoor activities you can do on premises and off. If you're not familiar with these clubs, they're all a little bit different, but they all have similar amenities. Promontory is probably the largest. Currently 2 built 18-hole golf courses, 1 short course, and there's talks of building a 4th course. Toohey, it's more of a smaller club, a little more intimate than Promontory. It's a Marco Mira's signature golf course, but you also have all the Talisker Club amenities. So if that's something of interest to you, reach out and I'll explain everything you can get with Talisker Club and, the amenities that are phenomenal. Red Ledges, is in Heber. It has the Jack Nicklaus signature golf course, has an equestrian center, significantly lower entry point than Toohey or Promontory. The trade-off is it's about 20 or 25 minutes from, Park City proper, but if that doesn't matter to you, that's just fine too, because there's plenty to do on property at Red Ledges as well. So let's hop over to Hideout in the Jordanelle area. This is great for retirees who want lake views, who want to look at this new ski resort views at Deer Valley's new East Village. Lower entry pricing than Park City proper, and the proximity to Deer Valley's East Village development, Hideout is increasingly popular. Park City is not for every retiree, and pretending otherwise would do you a disservice. Elevation. Park City sits about 7,000 feet above sea level. Some retirees with heart conditions or COPD or other respiratory issues find the elevation can be challenging. particularly during the first few months of adjustment. If you have any cardiovascular or respiratory concerns, obviously consult your physician about how you'll handle altitude before you commit. Winter is a real thing in Park City. We can get 300 plus inches of snow most years. Driveways need to be cleared. Roof loads need to be managed. Driving in winter requires winter tires and snow experience. For retirees coming from Florida or Arizona, the lifestyle adjustment is significant. The good news is most retirees report loving it. The bad news, some don't. Distance, especially medical care. As I mentioned earlier, you have top-tier hospital within 40 minutes, but that's still 40 minutes. For routine care, it's fine. For complex chronic conditions requiring frequent specialist visits, the commute can become a factor over time. The cost of living here in Park City is real. Park City's cost of living is above the national average and significantly above what many retirees from middle American cities are used to. Groceries, restaurants, services, and home maintenance all can run higher. Not San Francisco or Manhattan high, but not Tucson or Asheville cheap. The cultural fit. Utah has a strong religious culture and a relatively conservative state government. Park City itself is much more politically and culturally diverse and liberal than the rest of Utah. It leans more liberal and is far more cosmopolitan than the state average. But you're still in Utah. Liquor laws are kind of quirky. Some social norms differ from coastal cities. For some retirees, this is a non-issue, but it's worth knowing. Then we have the snowbird option. Many retirees solve the winter and altitude question by splitting their time. Park City, May through October, somewhere warmer, November through April. If that fits your finances and lifestyle, that's a great option. If you've decided that Park City is the right move, here's the financial steps to handle correctly. Establish Utah residency properly, spend 183 days plus per year at a Park City property, and get a Utah driver's license. Register your vehicles in Utah, register to vote in Utah, change your mailing address, and update legal and financial documents. This is what establishes the primary residence property tax rate and Utah income tax residency, both of which are major savings. Consider a 1031 exchange if you're selling an investment property to buy in Park City. The tax deferral can be substantial. This requires careful timing and a qualified intermediary. Plan the move from a high-tax state strategically. If you're moving from California, for example, the timing of your Utah residency establishment versus when you sell appreciated assets can have a significant tax implication. Talk to a CPA who handles multi-state moves. Another thing is make sure you right-size the property. Many retirees overbuy when they move to Park City, partly out of excitement, partly because they're using equity from the expensive coastal market. Resist the urge to buy too much house. Larger properties mean more maintenance, more carrying costs, and often more square footage than you'll actually use day to day. Plan for legacy. Estate planning under Utah law is straightforward, but worth doing properly. Trust structures, beneficiary designations, and tax advantage gifting can all be optimized after the move. Build a Park City advisory team. You need a Park City experienced real estate professional, like me, a Utah CPA, a Utah estate attorney, an insurance agent who knows the local risk landscape, ideally a financial planner who understands resort market real estates. And building this team before you close is much smarter than scrambling to assemble it after a problem. So retiring in Park City delivers something genuinely rare. An active, intellectually engaged, beautifully located retirement in one of the most tax-friendly states in the entire United States. For the right person, it's transformative. If you're considering Park City for retirement and you want help figuring out which neighborhoods fit your lifestyle, what your true carrying costs will be, and how to structure the move financially, book a call through the link in the description. I work with retirees relocating to Park City all the time, and I'd love to help you think it through. Subscribe for more relocation content, and I'll see you in the next video.